Growing up, I simply had no sense, no conception that this was even within the realm of possibility for myself. As the daughter of immigrants, politics was never discussed. We didn't follow current events. I never saw anyone who looked like me in positions of leadership. I suppose what has surprised me most is that it's actually pretty easy to make a difference in government, and I really believe that public service is the best way to make a difference in the world. I had just graduated college. I was working downtown in Boston doing consulting. I got one of those phone calls that no one ever wants to get. One of my little sisters called me and said, "You have to come home now. There's something very wrong with Mom." And when I flew from Boston back to Chicago, realized that my mom was essentially in the midst of a mental breakdown. I left my job in Boston, I left my life as a young professional, and went back to take care of my two younger sisters who were fairly young at that time, take care of my mom, and decided to open a small family tea house to keep us going. I loved every bit of it except for every time we had to deal with City Hall in some way. It seemed like if we just fulfilled all the requirements that were laid out in municipal law, it would be fine. But it ended up being almost 8 months of bureaucracy, red tape, inspections, going back and forth, appealing this and that, and I felt like no one in government was even acknowledging real life, much less trying to help us. I really wanted to go back to law school and understand how I could help craft some of those ordinances and shape some of that city government bureaucracy to make it easier for families. Law school was really my time for self-exploration. I spent a lot of time taking advantage of the flexibility that HLS offers with getting real-life hands-on experience. I had a clinical, helping business owners sort through legal bureaucracy, being able to help someone else with an incredibly frustrating situation that I had been through and that my family had experienced was very empowering and meaningful. There will be no comparison to being in then Professor Elizabeth Warren's 1L Contracts Law class. What actually made me think about politics as a possibility was seeing her transition from professor to candidate to senator without changing anything about herself. It was incredibly inspiring to see that you don't have to put on a politician face or have a very different public and private persona.
What I know most of all is that my experiences, my sacrifices, and my accomplishments mirror the hard work and experiences of families throughout our city.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. Ayes have it, docket 0443 has been adopted. I'm now in my 4th year on the City Council and have passed ordinances ranging from language access and healthcare equity, paid parental leave, which I believe is the issue underlying income inequality, up through ordinances around small business, getting back to my original love. And I think when people ask me, what am I proudest of in my time on the council? It's bringing transparency to what we do. So every week I put out a summary of what we voted on at the council meeting, what the result was, what we're discussing, upcoming hearings, and that has transformed people's access to city government and being able to have a stake and have a say. And today we will adjourn our meeting in memory of the following individuals. For Councilor Baker, Paul Ryan. For Councilor LaMattina, Martin O'Brien. At the end of the day, I want to be authentic, humble, and grateful, and I'm not going to be in politics forever, and I want to be proud when I'm out of politics of the person that I was all through this time leading up to that point.